fine then. So we'll see how we can create reports in terms of learning. There are only basically, straightforward kind of requirements in learning. Is one is completion status, to know the completion status. One is list of courses available. The other one is instructors. So only these three requirements that you will be getting. And completion status, as per your current requirement and future requirement, you just need to tweak the filters. Let's say if you're actually looking for 2021 compliance course tracking, who has completed and who has not, you can just filter with 2021 courses. And in future, and if you add any kind of additional courses, you can just add those courses into that filter. So that tweaks only you would be needing, and other than that, there will be no need of creating any other reports. But if there are any other report requirements, you can just go with the same process as what we'll be doing. And the other requirement that you may be getting is campaigns. When you're actually dealing with campaigns for different scenarios, probably you may be launching campaign. One is, for new hires, you may be launching, this compliance course, course, sending compliance course information to all the new hires. So based on that, you may be needing to create one custom report for all new hires. And if there are any other, criteria for any kind of courses that you wanted to use campaigns to send a kind of content or notifications to intended group, you may be creating, let's say, management level directors. So directors are supposed to take some particular course, and you wanted to send a notification or content to all the directors, and give a kind of course information to them. So if you have that kind of requirements, so you will be creating a report and filtering with their management level. So these kind of different kind of reports, not simple reports only, not a kind of complex report. So but you'll be you'll be working with the different filters, different kind of needs in that report criteria. But there will be no kind of complex reporting that you will be dealing in terms of learning. Everything I said, right? Tracking complete, and a list of courses that are available, instructors, and this thing, campaign related reports. Other than this, you'll not get any other report requirements in this area.
Was I want to know how much time a person spent on a particular online course, because every LMS will have issues with course completion, right? When a
Yes.
person says that I have completed the course, but I didn't get credit for completing it. So I would like to
So
know how.
credit will be getting only after the course completion status is completed. Okay.
Correct, correct. So sometimes because of some reasons, they might not receive
Mm-hmm.
completion credit. So uh, for us or for any admin to go ahead and know how much time did he really spend on the course content, so we can check that also.
How do you check where did he spend?
Like,
I mean,
how
while
much time
taking the
he
course.
spent? No, how much time he spent on the online content, taking the online content. If it is like 1 hour, we really know that he has taken the course, right? You getting my point?
I'm getting your
Yes.
point, but so that will be on Scrum package only. You will be able to know. Okay. So if employees, look, I mean, let's say if any video content is there, okay, 2 hours of video content is there. If employee has gone, 1.5 hour content and could not be able to proceed, so you should be able to know whether that 1.5 hours can be reported or not. Is that your question?
Yeah, yeah. If I want to know how much time he really uh, spent launching the course.
Hmm. That
Anyway,
that
we will.
video, that let's see, we don't have any kind of delivered fields, completed date, completion, this thing we have. Let's see if, I don't think any delivered field is there, duration kind of thing, but let me see. Okay, data source create report, right? Yeah. So right, web service and temporary report here. When you make your report as web service, enable the checkbox. If you check, you can also find that option here.
So you have clicked on optimize performance, so that's the reason why it became indexed, is it?
No, I've not clicked actually. Learning enrollments is an indexed data source only. Okay, so we don't have any standard data source in learning. So learning enrollment is indexed data source. So since it is indexed, automatically it has a data source filter options. So we don't have standard data source type for learning enrollment, and since the data source type is indexed, automatically when I enter that one, it automatically returns data source filters.
Mhm.
Okay.
Data source filter we don't have to select.
We can select. So I just thought of showing you something. When you are creating reports, you will be having this option, enable as web service. Okay. So if you check this checkbox, the meaning is you are wanting this report to connect to any of the integration that you will be creating in Workday and attach this report to that integration and send to any external system. If you are selecting this one, your integration will identify the report. If you're not checking this one, your integration will not be identifying. So if you get any chance of creating integrations, so this is the mandatory checkbox that you need to check when you're creating integrations. Okay, enable
Okay.
as web service option.
Mhm.
And one more thing is that you wanted to know is so when you're creating report, you also will have temporary checkbox. Okay, if you check this checkbox, by default, it will take 7 days from today. Okay, it automatically, you see, when I check this checkbox, 7 days date automatically will be populating. Okay, for 7 days, this report will be available for you in your tenant, and after that, it will automatically get deleted. Okay, if you're actually
Okay.
creating a report, let's say if any user will be reaching out to you, hey, can you create a report, which will pull all learning enrollments of completions and send me that spreadsheet. Okay, they're not wanting report they're not wanting report access, but they're just asking for one time need of all the completion for that particular course. So instead of creating complete report and having that report in tenant, you can use this temporary option. Once you create a report and deliver the file, automatically this report may be deleted in the defined time. And if you wanted to extend time also, you can extend for 1 month or for 2 months, for any time that you wanted to have, you can extend that automatically. After that particular date, it will get deleted. Okay, that is about temporary report. There will be few more data source filters, but this uh, all enrolled completed events also will be there. but I don't think this. Uh, uh, we
Hmm.
have not enrolled any of the candidate. No, there is a reason why it is not showing. But when you try in your report, you should be able to see different data source filter. All enrolled completed enrollments you'll be able to see. So, which means that you have some enrollments, completed learning enrollments in your system. When you do that, you'll be getting that data source filter option here. Since we have not enrolled any of the candidate because of tenant issues, we are not able to get this option, data source filter option. Even if you can run your report without without this also. Without this, you can create your report. You can run. So this is not a mandatory or required filter option that you need to select. Without this also, you can select.
Okay, okay.
Okay, now
What is report tags in the top?
a report tag. Okay, uh, let's say if you create. So I've given tag as RAM learning, okay, and I'll be
Hmm.
creating 10 more reports and we'll be using this tag RAM learning, okay. So when I search RAM learning in search bar, all those 10 reports will be coming.
Oh, meaning it's not going to give access to anyone or something.
No. So tag means it will enable you to search. You can tag multiple reports to that report tag, and with that report tag, when you search in the search bar, those multiple reports will be populated.
Like how
It
will you
will
search RAM learning reports or how would
no
you search
RAM
normally?
learning. Just since we have not clicked it yet, right? So this is not saved, but let
Yeah,
me
we
just
can
add
say
one.
we can search later. We'll try later.
Learning enrollment. So which will give learning enrollment status. Learning enrollment means the particular course name.
So you're searching in learning enrollments and
Content title. I'm using multiple related business objects just to
So how do we know which field is under which business object? This is one important thing which I would like to know.
which field under which business object. I told you, no. Okay, I think I did not told you. I just told you about related business object. Okay, so now, so probably since you are new to Workday reporting, you'll not know. If someone asks you to create a report on learning enrollments, you'll be not knowing what field that you need to select and what are the fields that are available in that particular source. You'll be not available. The first thing what you'll know is which data source that you wanted to pick. Okay, so after picking your data source, okay, learning. Okay. So you have these many learning related. Let's take for enrollments. Okay. So I clicked on learning enrollments and I have a business object called learning enrollment. Now, so there is one more. This is for data sources, a kind of standard report where you know data sources and the business object that is associated with that. Now, there is another report, standard report called the report fields. Okay.
Hmm.
So here you'll be knowing at field level information you'll be knowing. Let's say business object, learning enrollment, you wanted to look for.
Okay.
You'll be getting all the fields that are sitting in learning enrollment. Okay. So based on your reporting requirement, you can select any of the fields that you wanted to select from here. This only will help initial stage, but when you get good hands-on, when you get some conceptual understanding on report creation, no need automatically you'll create a report with the relevant fields on your own by not getting into this report fields kind of standard report. Okay, so only this will be helpful at the initial stage to understand which report will be available. If the field is not available, whether you wanted to go for calculated field or not, you'll be actually making decision. But when you get good hands-on and if you're able to create multiple reports, then you'll be able to understand this field is available or not. You should be able to judge on your own. Okay,
Okay. So
so this is how you'll be getting into the field versus business object information.
so here also we are searching for business object and then we are seeing the field. Can we search for a field and then find out which business object it is?
Yeah, you can. If you know the field, since we are aware of the business object, we have given this. If you don't want to go with business object, you can just give field. Let's say what field that we wanted to workers.
Let's say duration.
Okay. Okay. So we need to see which business object that is sitting in learning course. Okay. So these two fields that we have, course duration, the text format, example 90 minutes. Okay. In this way, it will be actually coming out. The duration of course proposed by business process. Okay. This is for different event attendance duration. The amount of the learning has spent consuming the learning course. Example 5 hours. Okay. So so attendance duration is one thing that you can actually choose if you exactly wanted to have enrollment duration status or course duration. Anything these two will work for you. So and if you can click these two, you'll be getting learning enrollment event and the course duration event, where you can pick this in your report. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So where is the report we created?
So
It's gone.
now that duration was there in learning enrollment as well as learning course. So which business object we have to select in that? How do we know?
Depends upon your type of requirements. If you're actually creating a report, okay, with a report with all the learning enrollments, course duration will work. And if you wanted to have this course duration into your enrollment, you can go with see where it is linking. Okay, so it is actually learning course category learning, and click on this one, business object. See
Mhm.
whether you are able to have this as a related business object in learning enrollment. Okay, now go to related business object. Here you'll be finding whether you can link to your primary business object or not. Okay, now course is the one where the C will have learning enrollment. Learning enrollment.
So the
Okay.
business object which is related, all these are related business objects, is it?
Yes, yeah, to that primary course business object. Okay.
So how do we link it?
Link in the sense, you'll not link anything, you'll be just using, by looking at this information, you'll be using that report, that business object as related in your report. That's it. By getting into this, you'll be knowing, yes, learning program is there. Learning program is a business object which we can use, from which we can relate this business object to that. You'll be able to understand from here. You'll be knowing from that business object, you can, where you can link, you'll be knowing that information. But you will not be like how in another traditional software applications, you'll be writing a query to join tables and all. That kind of thing you'll be not doing here, because we don't have a table concept here.
Okay.
So only information you'll be getting. Yes, this can be related to primary business object, because here we are seeing in the link, in the list of links that is available. So let's say if you're creating report called learning enrollment, okay, under learning enrollment data source and learning enrollment business object, and if you find and this is a course related to business object, no, learning course business object. And if
Yeah.
you wanted to see whether this can learning course can be used as a related business object in learning enrollment primary business object, you need to find whether learning enrollment is there in the list or not. Okay, if it is not there, you'll be not able to add this learning course as a related business object to your learning enrollment primary business object. So that is a kind of information that you'll be getting from here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I think the report we created has gone. Is the one. Oh, these are all workers, not the one that we created. You'll not have any timeout issues in your actual tenant, so nothing to worry on this. If you're creating report, it will be as it is.
Okay. So normally we select advanced report only, right?
Advanced, most cases advanced. But in learning, you don't have any other reporting requirements, to show in a graphical format, or to show in in trended format. You don't have different formats, that business will be asking, mostly business will be asking the completion status only. Other than that, there are no requirement needs. If you take if you take core HR, probably your business may ask, I wanted to know how many employees got hired today, how many employees got terminated, and I wanted to see in a graphical format to show the percentage of hiring, percentage of terminations. In that way, people will be asking. So for them, we'll be creating a graphical report, that makes them easily to understand the percentage of hiring and the percentage of termination. But in learning, we will not be getting such kind of requirements. Um, in a graphical format or any kind of other chart formats and all, they'll just ask, we wanted to know the completion status. That's it. And most of the learning admins are now got familiar with the Workday system, and without the reporting requirement, what they'll be doing is they'll be getting into employee profile, or they'll be actually will create a initially we'll create a completions report, and we'll give access to those learning administrators, and they'll be actually checking that report whenever they wanted to have. Other than that, there is no reporting requirement that will be coming.
Okay. User also we need, right? Which user enrolled?
You have multiple options here. You can go worker, and also something called learner also will become. Not sure whether learning is here. Okay. Okay, so you can just take worker, which will be returning worker name.
So worker means worker name or worker ID or what?
No. Worker name will be getting. Worker ID means employee ID. That is different. Worker means you will be getting employee name actually.
Full name,
Mm,
first name, last name.
yes, everything will be getting. And if you wanted to get some worker information, you can use worker as a kind of related business object here. And if you wanted to have employee manager, if you wanted to get, you'll be giving employee manager. And
Mm.
so the employee supervisory organization, if you wanted to get, if you wanted to know total number of working hours, all this will not be required, but I'm just showing an option. You can also get all this information because you're using worker as a kind of related business object. Okay.
Mhm.
So all this information you can add. You can add any number of related business objects. So there is no restriction in Workday. You can add a number of related business object. Okay. So you'll have, and you can do some filterings here if you wanted to go with any specific course, enrollments.
Okay. Filter means it
If
will
you wanted to filter,
automatically.
if you wanted to filter the data, let's say now if you won't give this filter, this report will be returning enrollments for all the courses. Now if you wanted to only filter with if you wanted to have a report only for a particular course, okay, you can do that filtering option, which reduces data volume.
Hmm.
So if you know the course name, you'll be actually giving a course name here equal to 22. If you give, when you run the report, your report will be running only for code of conduct 2022, and will be returning results. If you're not giving any filter, it will run for all the courses that are available in the tenant. Okay. So this has to be converted to single instance because we're using a index data source, so that your course list of courses will be automatically populated in the list. Now let's see from another field if we have the list of courses that we can take. No, no, I think this only will work. So you can filter with any of the course that you wanted to have from the filter. That will reduce volume of data, and that returns a list of courses available. Okay. So now let's remove this one. I don't think we'll be getting anything because we have not made any enrollments, but we'll see. We have two options here. One is run, another one is test. When you
Mhm.
click on test, what it will return is it will run in test mode, and it will return the first 10 records that are available in the report in seconds. I can say that if, let's say, if your head count of organization is around 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, okay, so when you're creating report for that huge count, report will take some time, 1 or 2 minutes, or more than that, depends upon your tenant performance, to return the data. So you don't want it to wait for 1 or 2 minutes, but you just wanted to see whatever fields that you have given is returning right values or not. Then you'll just click on test option, and your report will be running in test mode, and it will return the first 10 employees in the report as a result, so that you can validate all the results, and then ensure that every data is populating correctly, and then you can deliver that report.
So it will only
So now,
display 10 records, is it?
yes, first 10 records it will display if you go with the test run. So now, as
Mm-hmm.
I said, right, we don't have any enrollments, that we are not getting any information on enrollments because we have not seen, we tried to enroll, but that option was not there, right, because of tenant issue. So since that enrollment records is not available, we are not seeing any kind of enrollment information coming out. But generally, you'll be getting all the enrollments when you create a report in this way with all the list of courses that are available in your tenant. So probably
Mm-hmm.
as an activity, what you can do is you can create the same report in your
Mm-hmm.
tenant, in your testing tenant, with learning enrollments is a kind of data source, and go with any amount of field, but only just check with a few fields as a kind of mandate. One is learning enrollment, content title, and worker information. Okay, so just other than this, you can add any number of fields that you wanted to have and add any related business subject and add those fields for your understanding. That should be okay. But try to see if there are any kind of enrollments that are available, and when you get that enrollment, you can see all the enrollments in the list. And also other thing that you can test is status. Okay, so whether you wanted to report on completed or in progress or not started kind of enrollment status, you can also filter in that way. So I'll show you. Probably you can do that as an activity and come up with any questions that you have in your tomorrow's class. So now if you wanted to filter only on completions, or if you wanted to filter only on other than completions, so you can select any of this option. Okay, if you click on completed, only you'll be getting completed records. Other than completed, if you wanted to filter in progress or not started, you'll be getting without any completion status. If there are any records in the system, that will be returning. Okay, so that you should be able to track the completions and follow up with the, I said right, campaign, when campaign, you wanted to send as a kind of reminder for people who have not completed. So this is how you'll be creating a report with in progress or not started, so that your report will be returning results who have not completed. So this report you will take and you will be attaching in your campaign, so that people who are returning in this report will be sent a notification saying that you have not started your course, and this is the due date that we have, and before the due date you have to complete kind of information it will be sending. But this is the type of report that you'll be creating for people who have not completed. Okay, and so probably you can take this an activity. You can create one report with learning enrollments with all the information, at least learning enrollment status, course name, and employee name, and you can go filter with any criteria that you wanted to have, whether it is completed or not charted or in progress. You can select anything and you can go with it and create that one and come up with any questions that you might have on this. Okay, reporting. Any
Okay. And
questions? Any questions on this?
yeah, what about prompts and how we can
Yeah,
change visibility?
yeah. Prompts are nothing but which will give flexibility for users. Let's say if you're giving the access to business users to run the reports and all. So rather than, it's also one kind of filter, I can say. Okay, so within date range that you wanted to run the report, or based on employee that you wanted to run report, or based on course name that you wanted to run your report, your prompt will help actually in that way. And we'll see how we can set a prompt based on learning enrollment or learning completion status, anything. So in order to set a prompt, we already have a completion status. I'll just keep as it is, but since we wanted to set as a prompt, what I'll do is I'll make it as a prompt. Okay,
What is it? Okay. Where did you?
prompt. So if you go to comparison type, you'll be having list of values here. Okay, prompt for the user for the value, and a value from the specified list you'll be getting. Since we wanted to select a prompt for this completion status, I've selected a prompt.
Uh,
Okay,
so
now
you're prompting it in the filter section only.
no, you need to take this prompt to the prompt section. Once you give prompt here, you can take it. What happened? So here you need to know one thing. So this is not a text value. We'll go with worker. If your report is not a web service enabled report, okay, now
Mhm.
you can prompt within filter only. Okay, so no need to go with prompts. But if your report is web service enabled report, okay, then you need to go with the prompt. So let me show that one. Okay, so now the report is not a web service enabled report. Okay, so now this is not a web service enabled report. Now if I click, now I have not given prompts in prompts section. Okay, I have not given any prompts here. Okay, I've just used default prompt in the filter only. Then I'll click on OK. Your system should allow, because your report is not a web service enabled report, and that is the reason why you're able to do prompting within filter only. And when you run a report, it will prompt for worker and completion status. Now let's say if I make this report as a web service enabled and see what will happen.
Yeah.
So I'm making this report as a web service enabled, and if I click on OK, I should get an error now. Okay, so I got an error saying that I've set as a prompt, but I've not used those prompts. I'm not used those prompts in the prompt
In the
section.
prompt.
Yeah. So now what I'll do is, when you're making your report as a web service enabled, make sure that when you have filtering requirements, go to the prompts and set those as a prompts.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
So now since you have made your report as a web service enabled, there are multiple related business objects in your report, right? So when your report is a web service enabled, those related objects should be added here, because you'll be generally when you're actually doing some kind of programming, coding and all, so this will help during that part. So
Sorry, I didn't get you. What did you say? When we have
when you
multiple
have
business ob
when you have multiple business object, and when your report is a web service enabled report, those multiple
Mm.
related business objects should be added here. Okay, the purpose of
Oh.
adding here is this XML tag is generating, right? This XML tag.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
so this will be useful for you when you're writing programming, to, let's say, if you when you're making your report as a web service enabled, it is nothing but you're creating integration, no? So if you're,
Mm.
I said right, when your report is a web service enabled, which means that your integration has to identify your report. And when you are building integration, your integration should return the values from your related business object also. So when you're writing a program, so XSLT is a kind of programming language that we have in Workday, wherein if you wanted to just send a file in JSON format, in CSV format, in Excel format, you'll need to write a program there. So for technical developers, so to write a program to pull the values from a related business object, you'll be adding that business object under group column headings, and this can be used in the program to return values. Let's say worker group you have used in a program. When you use worker group, it is nothing but worker. Okay, so from worker
Mm.
it will be returning all the values.
Mhm. Only worker
So
you have added?
only worker I've added. I think I've added many, but I think I've not saved, right? It has gone. Okay, you can add
All the
many
related
business objects
business
that you want.
objects is what we have to add here, is it?
Yes, when your report is a web service enabled.
Yeah, yeah,
Only
when it
when
is a
report is a web service enabled. When is it is not, no need of adding.
And
Okay.
which language do we write
XSLT.
this one? XSL?
XSLT. Yes. Extensive style sheet language.
Okay. And
Uh-huh.
where do we write that? In which software?
No, we have XML encoder that we have. So we'll be writing in Notepad, and we'll be giving extension as .xslt, and where you can attach that XSLT in Workday. That can be treated as a kind of you'll be giving your report name in the coding, and you'll that XSLT will be identifying your report and will be performing its job based on the code that you have written.
No, is it like Workday Studio? We have to write this or what?
No, anywhere, but the thing is, no, you'll be writing in Notepad actually. You'll be writing in Notepad, and you'll be adding extension as .xslt to that Notepad. That will be
Hmm.
converted into extensible file, and that can be used in Studio. That can be used in Workday integrations anywhere. First, you need to
So
have
what
that.
exactly do we write in the, I mean, for example, in the Notepad or wherever, what
Mhm.
exactly do we write? Report is built here, right? So
Report is
are
built.
we?
Your
Huh.
report is built, but if you wanted to convert, let's say if you are integrating this report to any external system, okay, what is the
Mm,
default
mm,
output of Workday? It is XML. Okay, default
mm,
output
mm,
for Workday output is an XML, but your external system person will not ask you to send you an XML format because they don't
mm,
understand XML. So they'll be
mm,
asking you to send the information in a CSV or Excel
mm,
or JSON,
mm,
any different formats, easy understandable file formats. So in that way, you'll be writing a program there to in order to convert that XML to CSV, convert the XML to
mm,
Excel or text format, any format that you wanted to convert. You'll be actually using XSLT. So that XSLT can be helpful for you when you're dealing with web service enabled report, when you have a number of related business object. To in order to identify your related business object, you'll be adding those related business object here, and you can use these XML alias names in your XSLT to identify or to return the values from the business object.
So I'm okay, got that. But I'm not able to understand what is the use of the file what we write. Where do we keep that file?
What file you're asking?
The
What
XSLT
file?
file. Where
That is
exactly are we going to use this file
in
to get
Workday.
the integration?
No, you'll create all in Workday only. You have a lot many
Oh,
tasks to create XSLT and all. You have
oh, okay. So where exactly, if we write,
so you'll be writing XSLT and you'll be attaching that XSLT here. Okay,
okay.
and this once
So
you
if
have that XSLT, you'll be attaching that XSLT in your integration.
oh, mm.
Okay.
So we have to attach the XSLT in the integration so that okay.
Yes. Yes. First, you need to write an XSLT and attach that
Mm.
XSLT in tenant and call that XSLT in your integration.
Okay, okay.
Okay. That is a
And
different, complete technical
yeah,
area.
yeah, absolutely. So no, I just wanted to understand the logic. That's all.
No,
Um,
you'll so very easy, you'll be creating XSLT, okay, and attach that XSLT in the task that I've shown you. And when you have
yeah.
XSLT attached in tenant, when you're creating EIB will ask you whether you wanted to go with XSLT transformation or a plain XML. So if you select that transformation, XSLT transformation, it will ask you which XSLT that you wanted to add here. So you can pick any of the XSLT that you have created and attach in EIB, and that will perform its job when integration is running. If there are any
Mm.
errors, you'll be fixing those errors, or if there are no errors, you'll be able to see the intended format of output file.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Now,
So
now,
now we have given
how do we change the
prompts.
output?
Sorry,
Like, for example, I want to have a pie chart or a
pie
different
chart
format.
in output file.
Yeah, yeah. Now it will
Or
normally this will come in an Excel, right, or a CSV, right?
no, no, no. You'll not be
Oh, no, no.
getting any. output file, you'll not be getting any chart formats and all. Even if you go with any other report format, output because advanced report cannot generate anything, in pie chart or thing, you'll be not able to. Let me show that also. Okay, let's say now I've given a prompt in web service enable, it will ask you for prompt. Okay, so that is one thing, that you should be clear. Now let's say if I go for output, or else let me take any existing report that has any data, and let me show you that example. Worker. Okay, let me run any of this report. Mm, we didn't create any report. No, I don't want worker details. Okay, this is search report. Or else let me create one simple report.
And what is the supervisory organization which we have? Is
Supervisory
it like
organization. Supervisory organization is nothing but your manager's organization, what it will be having. Let's say you're working in LMS team, and your report, you're reporting to one of the person who manages the learning and development team. Okay, that will be
mm,
a kind of supervisory organization.
okay.
There's no legend to configure here. There has to be legend actually. Legend is not coming here. Okay. So basically, in order to get any kind of, you have multiple chart type formats, okay, but your reporting requirement should be matching when you wanted to have your, the output format in a chart or anything. When you extract that output, you'll be not getting any pie chart or any table. But in Workday, if you wanted to view any output in a chart format, in a pivot table format, anything or whatever, you have a lot of chart formats here. You can select any of the format here and create a report and view that report within Workday. You will be not able to extract that output in an Excel file. You have an option to Excel file, download your output to an Excel in Workday. But when you download that in a chart format, you'll be not getting those charts in your Excel. You'll be getting output in a standard tabular format only, because chart formats and pie charts, graphical formats cannot be extracted or downloaded in a Excel file, or cannot be integrated to any external system, because there is no report. Matrix report is one report, where we'll be creating output in a graphical format, but there is no option of attaching your matrix report to integrations. So only advanced report is a kind of report that will be attached to integrations. And in any of the case, you'll not be attaching pie charts or tables or bar charts to any of the integration. Okay, so only information that you'll be sending to external vendors, whatever data is sitting in Workday, you'll be sending that data from Workday to external system. But no one will be asking you that I wanted to have all your data in a pie chart format that we wanted to have in your system, and we need to have this graphical format. No external vendor will be asking you that, and even if they ask, we'll be not able to do that one. Okay,
No,
with
not external. In
mhm.
Workday only if I want to display it in a chart or
Yes,
bar or
that
a.
is possible. That is possible. I said right. That is possible. Any report, but you need to have your requirements clear. Now, I'm actually creating a worker report with all the employee information, demographic information. For the demographic information, you won't be needing pie charts, right? You won't be needing pivot charts. But let's say if your management has asked, I wanted to know how many employees have got terminated, from 2018 to till now, based on the cost center that they are assigned with. So whatever their cost center assigned with, I wanted to know this cost center, from this cost center, this many employees have got terminated. From this cost
Yeah,
center, this employees got hired. If they are giving that kind of information, your leadership team or executive leadership team, if they wanted to have such information, then you'll be
yeah,
creating a matrix report for that. And there are a lot of things that you need to group. Okay, if you wanted to group by cost center, group by column, in matrix report there are a lot of terminologies. So you'll be choosing that cost center as a kind of group, and you'll be giving related fields in matrix report, and select matrix format as a chart or table, whatever you're seeing here, the same format, the same options that you'll be getting here. What type of chart that you wanted to select, whether it is donut or a bar chart, anything you can select, and have your report created, and give access to your leadership team, and ask them to run the report whenever they wanted to have. Or the other way most of the customers will do is add those reports to a dashboard, and give the dashboard access to your leadership team, so that they can view that information on their fingertips whenever they wanted to have. So that is what we'll be doing, but we'll not be integrating any kind of a graphical format reports to any external system. So yes, within Workday, if you wanted to do, so probably I said right, you'll be doing one activity on learning enrollments. So what you can do in that activity is go to output format. Okay, go to output format, select, you'll be by default, you'll be seeing table option selected. So instead of table, you can select a chart and table, and when you click on OK, it will ask for legend, and probably your tenant will be having all that information. Automatically a legend will be populated. Select any of the legend and click on OK. You'll be getting output in a format that you have selected, chart format that you have selected. Try that one, and that should work.
Okay.
But
So
when
it
you
should be
report,
not the advanced report, is it?
sorry.
It should not be an advanced report for output to be selected as chart
No,
or by.
no, even advanced report can select. Advanced report also we have an option. Now I've created advanced report only. No, I've created advanced and I'm in output format. I have an option to select. Even you can select, but you don't have any information, right? So what is your reporting requirement now? So you've actually given employee ID, worker, supervisor, organization, cost center, active status. So if you're getting this information in pie chart, what is that information, right? You will not be having right
Correct.
information to view this in chart information. So if
Suppose
you
it is
wanted to
very
group,
simple. I want all the active users
hmm
based on supervisory organization or based on country.
yeah, based on country, so that you cannot do in advanced report. So you can group based on country, means you wanted to group by country, right? If you wanted to group by country, your advanced report will not meet that need. So you need to go with the matrix report and define in matrix report as a kind of column grouping or row grouping by country, and whatever employees that you wanted to have, you can give, and then select your output format. Then your the chart format report will be giving output based on country, based on employee headcount and all. You'll be able to but in advanced report, you can have an option to generate in a chart format, but only for informative. But all this information, whatever you're grouping, you're not grouping it anyway. You're not grouping
Mhm.
by cost center or by country or by region. You're not grouping, so you'll not have fruitful information in chart when it generates. Okay.
Where
So
exactly do we group also?
where exactly?
Do we group?
In matrix report, you need to create a matrix report, and there you'll be having a lot of options to group.
Okay, okay.
You have option of column grouping, row grouping, and you have an option to drill down the fields and all. In matrix report, you have all those options where you can create however you want, whatever grouping that you wanted to do. In a matrix report, you can select those grouping items and select the category that you wanted to have. Category in the sense the chart category, and your output will be generated in such a way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just show that option and I'll drop off for today. But in learning, you'll be not getting any matrix report requirements. Other areas like headcount, core HR, other areas, recruiting, how many we have hired, how many got joined in the organization, all those things you'll be having in recruiting and core HR, but not in learning.
Okay.
So you have in matrix report grouping, here you can group in row wise, and if you wanted to group, you can group, and you can do column grouping here. Let's say if I create by cost center. Okay, we have not selected data source. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how you'll be getting matrix report based on grouping. Okay, so you have total
Mm-hmm.
count this one, and if you click on this thing, you'll be getting what is exact count of this organization. Like that, you'll be getting. But in advanced
Okay.
report, you'll be not able to group, right? That is the reason why you'll not be getting any chart. But this cannot be extracted in a same format. Let's say I have now option to export into Excel. Now, if I click on
Yeah.
export, I'll be not getting this chart in Excel, but I'll be getting the
Yeah.
data, but not in chart.
I think it will be very useful for learning based on completions. I mean, if you want to check code of conduct or anything, which country has what number of completions or
There are
which,
delivered reports actually. I think there should be some standard reports which give this information. But if there is no information based on as how I've created, you can give that grouping, completion status in grouping, and by what you wanted to categorize by cost center that you wanted to know, or by supervisory organization that you wanted to know. Anything you can select in row grouping, and accordingly whatever fields that you wanted to give, you can give and have this format generated.
can we pull up or can we have a report kind of created like a
Mhm.
bar or a
You can create.
pie chart
You can
where
create.
I want to know I've assigned for 100 people out of which only 50 people have completed. So, or 60 people have completed. So, can we get that in a
Yes.
chart or
Yes, you can
graph?
get. You can get, yeah. Because you'll be filtering with completion status, or you'll be grouping by completion status, and you wanted to know which group have completed, which group have not completed. You also mention column grouping by cost center, by supervisor organization, so that when you run a report, it will show you from this organization, these are the people who have not completed, these are the people who have completed in a chart format, in a bar format, where you'll be able to get, and also you'll be knowing some trends. So from this particular day, the completion percentage was this one, and this day the completion percentage is this one. You'll be knowing a trend also. If you wanted to know the trend also, you'll be able to know. You should be able to do
Mhm,
that, but should be only in matrix.
mhm. Okay. All right. Let me try that. I'll try
Yeah, try
something.
that.
Create a
Try
simple
that,
report
and
first. Mhm.
probably I don't have this tenant does not have any enrollment information. Probably this tenant will not work. But if you wanted to have information, to create matrix report based on your completion status, I'll get you a kind of requirement that I've created in my official tenant. So probably you can try that one. It's just only
Yeah.
what you need to actually filter, what drill down fields that you need to give, what detailed data that you need to give, just matter of fields only. So chart format,
Yes.
everything, you'll be selecting as per your organization requirement. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so just if
So,
you
can you
wanted to
share
have
that,
that
please?
information, sure, I'll get you that list. Yeah.
Okay. You can
Okay,
email
probably.
me. You want me to put my
Sure.
email address?
Yeah, you can put it here, and probably I'll do it.
Oh, I don't. One second. Yeah, I think I have it here. Yeah, I have sent you. Did you get it?
Yeah, let me note it. Okay, so I'll share that information probably today, by end of today, or tomorrow I'll share it to you. Okay.
Okay. I'm just sending you my phone number also.
Okay.
Okay. Can keep in touch.
Okay. We'll touch tomorrow on EIBs. And what kind of EIBs? You're clear with reporting, or do you have any questions, or you wanted to know anything on reporting?
No, I think we're good. Until I do it, I would not get
Yeah.
any doubts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably what I would suggest is create report on learning enrollments, and create multiple, have multiple related business object. Do filtering, whatever I've shown you. Do prompting, as how I've shown you. Get any questions that
Mm.
you wanted to have. That is the max that you can do with learning enrollments. Matrix report, as you wanted to know something, the completion status in a graphical format. I'll get you that kind of step by step kind of requirement to get that done. Okay, that should work.
Okay.
And with that, you should be good with reporting. And probably tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll get into EIB part and see how we can work with EIBs, and what are the EIBs. There are a lot of EIBs, related to learning we have, but we'll be knowing what each EIB will do, and probably we'll do some kind of upload process, how to upload data, how to which EIB that we need to identify, how to generate a spreadsheet template, how to upload the data, and all we'll be